That doesn't sound too good. Brand new in box, purchased from Sam's Club. Great deal. Sometimes deals are too good to be true. Just want to make sure it's in great working condition before use. It will be in storage until my fiance and I find a home with our 2 teenagers. The kids would love it if you could include our inspection in the TikTok video. My 12-year-old is actually the one who found you. Thanks, and keep up with the great dad jokes. That's amazing! I love 12-year-olds! Let me rephrase that. I love inspiring the youth. With a mustache like this, you can't just go around saying you love 12-year-olds. People might get the wrong idea. Let's get this thing upgraded and see if we can't make it sound a little bit better in the process. Now this was in fact brand new, never used. I just snipped this zip tie off of the cord. Now let's take another listen here. On every rotation, you're gonna hear a catch. Now just so everyone knows, we do offer mixers and they do come fully upgraded and we guarantee that they run perfect. We're gonna start by removing this screw on the beauty band. And that's going to reveal 4 screws. There's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side in the same location. With the screws removed, we can go ahead and remove the upper housing. Now this definitely looks a little bit different than usual. This is the new model that they just released a few months ago. Now I personally can't attest to these new models because, well, they haven't really been time tested yet. They also made a few changes that I don't necessarily like. So they've actually designed this motor and transmission to be a whole unit. So you cannot just go get like a single gear if something breaks. You have to replace this entire motor and transmission, which can be costly. And since these things are so new, you actually cannot get any replacement parts for them yet. They just don't have them on the market. So hopefully your warranty doesn't expire before you have any issues. But we're going to come through here and just make sure that all of these screws are nice and tight. Now this really blows my mind. So far I have found a Robertson square bit. They have Torx bits and they have Phillips head bits. Not to mention that all 3 of these Torx heads here are all different sizes. It's almost like they just went and grabbed a random handful of bolts and said, we can make these work. Let's go ahead and remove these screws so we can take a look under this transmission housing. So this is what it looks like under that transmission housing, and then right here in this little area, there's going to be a whole bunch of little planetary gears in there. And by whole bunch, I mean 6. Now this whole setup is very similar to the 7 and 8 quart machines, and just like that machine, if any one of those little gears in there even breaks one tooth off of it, you have to replace the entire thing. So until these guys are time tested and they start releasing these parts for resale, I'm just a huge fan of the Professional 600 because you can replace individual components. Now that we've talked a little bit about what I don't like about this model, let's talk about the good things. One of those being you can actually hit every single one of these speeds. I mean, you can just look how slow this thing goes. And you can really just start to increase it, and you can get a change on each one. With the other style machine, you're really only getting about 6 speeds. The next thing I like is that you can remove this planetary by a pin. The old model, you had to remove the entire transmission, all the gears and everything to pull the planetary out. Speaking of, let's have ourselves a little look-see here. Let's drive this pin out. And that will allow us to just pull this planetary away like so. Now take a listen here. We can tell with that planetary removed, that little catch sound is completely gone. So that means the issue with the catch either lies here on this internal ring, or here on this pinion gear, which is also pressed into place now instead of the snap ring, so you cannot remove it. So if this ever fails, you have to replace the entire thing. Now since you cannot remove this gear right here, it made it impossible to install a spring and washer on the agitator shaft. Which is why we went out of our way to offer a quick install. I'll show you how it works. We're going to start by taking our spring and splitting it and putting it over this agitator pin right here, and then just twisting it into place. Now you might need a little help from a flathead screwdriver to get this last little piece around the pin. We got the spring in place, now it's time for the washer. And we'll do the same thing with that washer. We're just going to split it and then push it around that pin. And once it's past the pin, we'll just go ahead and just kind of bend it back into place. And just like that, we have a brand new functioning spring and washer. Now unfortunately in this case, the spring and washer is just for show. We still have that catch. And since they don't offer parts to fix that, I'm going to recommend that this customer takes this thing back under warranty and gets a new unit. And you should consider getting a fully upgraded one from us. I mean, after all, we do have a ton of them. Yeah, there's some more over here as well. And who could forget about these? So whether you're looking for a new machine, attachments, upgrades, or you're just looking to have your existing machine serviced or repaired, just like all these people, we get them shipped to us from all over the US. Then make sure to check out our website, MrMixer.store. Oh, and if you'd like to pick up a spring and washer, you can do so on our TikTok shop.